on the idea of putting yourself out there as one of the bravest acts and liberating acts that anyone can do to really just show that they're not afraid and that they are allowing themselves to be authentically themselves, right? It's an act of liberation and emancipation. It's a declaration, and it's coming from a place of, I don't want to be scared anymore. I don't fear this anymore. I've given myself enough shit and I don't fear it anymore. I'm just gonna give in to it and express it and be who I am. This is me. It's coming from that place, which I envision. But a different, and that can be received with such honor and respect and empathy and praise, right? Because the act of putting a video that's showing you at the most kind of like vulnerable position and trying to create that message, the act coming from that space of emancipation and empowerment, that will be met with praise. But a similar act, but coming from a totally different place, it can be received in a totally different way. And an example that comes to mind is it can be commandeered or redirected. So the act of putting yourself out there and using these similar tactics, right? Leveraging, like hijacking the formula of associated with this act of emancipation. The formula and the practices can be hijacked and used for people coming from a different place of insecurity. When you come from a place of insecurity, whether you admit it to yourself or not, if you identify that it's coming from a place of, pay attention to me, I am vulnerable and I am like this, and please love me. This is scary, but maybe I should do something that's scary. But it's got a different quality to it. It's not of bold impassionment. It's from desperate insecurity and needing from other people. Then they're chosen. It's coming from a place where they don't feel like they can self-generate what they need and take what they need, and it's an act of announcement more than anything. Instead, it's coming from a place of they don't believe it can be self-generated, and they are reaching out to other people, and they will care so deeply about what anyone says and react to it, and they're counting on it being favorable. But ultimately, it's coming from a place where it's neediness and it's insecurity, in summary. Because the people who are using it for liberation and emancipation and announcing their bold decisions, right? This is me. They won't care as much about the backlash or the negativity or the just any kind of unpreferred outcomes, because they will be so focused on, I was ready to go into battle. I was committed to putting myself out there. It's been something that I've been putting off. It's something that I've been, teasing with. And, you finally decide to give that push and push yourself outside your comfort zone and be bold and be proud and be, brave. The people who step out into the arena like that, they will be met with a roaring applause, right? And encouragement. But the people who run out into the arena, eyes open, looking around for the attention from the get-go. Look at me, I'm brave too. I need to, yeah. They just don't get it. They're missing. They're too superficial in nature. They're looking for the source of development coming from an exterior place. They haven't figured out that it can be self-generated, and the actions are a reflection of the decisions that you have inside. That has to happen first. So these ideas are to be a launch pad for instilling and encouraging more of the same source, right? That self-generated empowerment, the writing the course of inspiration and being your most authentic and creative self, right? Any expression of love, gratitude, appreciation, whatever it is that you want to put out there in the world, you ride that wave and you do the first instinct. When you're using your intuition, you're following your intuition, you're in a higher state, you're feeling motivated, you're feeling charged and energetic. When you're in that kind of frequency, the first arrow always hits. It's coming from that place and you need to follow that. But you need to be careful about where it's coming from. If it's coming from a place and you can still observe this within yourself, be self-aware. If it's coming from a place of negative source, like more ego-centric, lower frequency, insecurity, need, a void. Yeah, man, the circumstances that lead to people who usually have some kind of void is horrific, and it's not fair. Nobody asked to be traumatized or have a history of experiences that put them in this messed up state. No one asked for it. But it just is. For every individual right now, some people have it way harder. And it just is. And I'm sorry, but you need to be self-aware enough that your actions are a projection of what you have inside. So be careful that your actions are coming from a right place rather than a wrong place. And you're the only judge about what's right and what's wrong. Because it's subjective as well. Your truth is not anyone else's truth. They don't understand you, okay, as much as you understand yourself. But you've got to understand yourself more. If you just think you do, and you're too afraid to find the truth, dig deeper, then you don't know yourself as well as you do if you're hiding from yourself. So if you have those challenges that I've spoken about, the ones from the overarching umbrella of insecurity, if you have those, please be careful how you leverage different trends. Know that your actions are a reflection. It's tough as hell, but I think all of us trying to be more self-aware, and it's literally about self here, because I can see the patterns within myself too. We all have to just put the work in. But yeah, again, these ideas are based from a empowering narrative rather than I don't know how to describe it. A kind of call for help narrative, that's really tough to say as well. That's not it either. It's not fair. I mean, yeah.